This is the Fee King Show. It goes down. It's going down every Friday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, God willing. And yes, the Fee King Show is actually moving. We're actually moving June 19th to the new platform on Indie Soup Media. Yay! The Fee King Show just got picked up. We've only been talking about this for a year, but let me tell you something. One monkey don't stop no show, and patience is a virtue, and success is not convenient but possible when you stay the course. And we have been staying the course. I am elated, over the moon, excited, pumped, jacked up for my first guest on the Fee King Show today. The show is pre-recorded because let me tell you something about Mercury. Mercury is seriously in retrograde. Yet we did this thing. We made it happen. I have been asking this man, the talented, the extraordinary, the humble, the dedicated. Is there a quadruple threat? Is there such thing? He is an actor. He is a writer. He is a director and a producer. I know this firsthand because he directed me in a film. He is also a singer. He is evolve and evolving. He is my dear friend, and he is in the new movie, which dropped April 28th. Ah, the big George Foreman, the big George Foreman story. I'm gonna do my best not to give any spoiler alerts. The movie is so beautiful. This is a film. Let me tell you something. You must go to the movie theater and watch this film on the big screen. Please do not stream it. It takes away from the essence of the story and the actors and the cinematography. It is so beautifully shot and told. Without further ado, welcome to the Fee King Show, my friend, Dwayne Barnes.
Hi. You like my entrance? Hi. Thank you. Come on, give me a hug. Oh my God, it's so good to see you. It's so good to see you. It's so good to be here talking to my wonderful, wonderful friend.
Dwayne Barnes. Dwayne Barnes, the trajectory of today's show is shifted. You know how you have a plan in your mind of how things are going to go, what you want to talk about, what you want to know. And my producer said to me when I told him I was going to see the movie today, because I overslept yesterday, because you know Fee King works like around the clock. And he said, Fee, no, it's okay. He said, tell your friend that you're going to go see it later. And I said, you don't understand. I said, you don't know Dwayne Barnes. I said, secondly, we don't lie to one another. I told him I was going to see the film. I said, so I'm going to see the film because A, I want to see him in the film. I want to see the movie and I want to support. And he said, well, maybe we can find it online and you can stream it. I said, yeah, no, that's not what we're going to do. And so I literally like ran in. So all of this worked out with our technological issues because I was hanging on by a thread. The movie. So I want to go right into this, which is I've known you for a long time. And so although I know you, no one knows you like you and God. Only you and God know you intimately. What has helped you stay the course? Why did you not quit?
I didn't quit and I won't quit. I won't quit because when you have a purpose and a dream in your heart that you know God placed in you, I did not create this. I mean, because it was a ludicrous dream living in Detroit, Michigan, telling people, oh, I want to be a singer. I want to be an actor. Everybody laughing, like not everybody, but a few people giggling, not believing it or whatever. But I just feel like God, this is my mission. It's my mission. It's why I was born, why my mother had me. So, and I remember my mother, you know, before I moved out to California, she was going around telling people, Wayne's going to be a star. He's going to be famous. He's going to be in movies. You know what I'm saying? So I even feel like she knew it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a part of who I am. So there's no giving up.
And to have your mother's support and edify you in that way, because there's some people who don't have that external support. And so they really have to dig deep to find that courage when what seems like maybe all the odds are against you. And in this moment, while I'm in the theater, Dwayne, I'm thinking about the Buddhist meetings. I'm thinking about us constantly, creating ways and thinking, okay, should we write something? I'm thinking about your documentary, and I'm thinking about all the things that you have been through that has led you up to this moment. And this is just one moment, right? This is just one of many more moments. So I want to talk about the audition process. When you got the call, what went through your head and how you prepared? Because Dwayne, I did not recognize you. Firstly, from the voice, like you have a very distinct voice. I did not recognize your voice. And you gave nothing away, like you didn't tell me. So take us through that process of when you got the call and what your thought process was for the audition. Not you got the call that you got the role, but what your thought process was and how you prepared for the audition.
Well, this was kind of funny because the day before I got this audition, I was also invited to audition for the Mike Tyson movie and to play Don King. And when I saw that audition, I was just like, everything in my spirit and soul just said no. I'm like, I don't want to play Don King. And I don't know why. It was just an intuitive hit that just said no. And I told my manager, and my manager was like, "Are you sure that these are big casting directors? Do you want to get in front of these big casting directors?" I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't want to sell myself out even for big casting directors. I don't want to audition for this role. And so I did it, and I was just feeling so like icky because sometimes when you follow your spirit, when you follow God, it doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? And so I was feeling a little bad. And when I tell you the next day, I think the audition came on a Saturday. It was from the exact same casting directors, and it was this movie. And the name of this movie originally was called Heart of a Lion. And when I saw the title of that title, I'm like, they're talking about me. I have a heart of a lion. And then I saw George Tillman Jr. George Tillman Jr. I've always wanted to work with George Tillman Jr. And then it said Dick Sadler. And I'm like, okay. So I was excited because I'm like, okay, God is with me because I said no to the other one. And my manager was like, do you want to get in front of these casting directors? And then the same casting director sent me this. So I felt like it was an alignment. So I put myself on tape. I sent it to my manager and he didn't like it. He came back and was like, no, I'm a big boxing fan. And, Dick Sadler, he was older and whatever. And I was just like, that's why I didn't want to play Don King because I don't want to I don't like to inhabit people. I don't want to take on somebody else's voice and this, that, and the other. And he was like, no, do it one more time. I'm telling you. I did it one more time, sent it in. Lo and behold, I got a call back like 2 days later. And something told me to look at footage of Dick Sadler, and I noticed his voice, and his voice had a little, he had a little voice, like that. And so I knew, I said, oh, I'm gonna add this voice to the callback. So the callback was on Zoom, the directors, the producers, everybody was on there, and the director was like, do you have any questions? I was like, no, no. I said, no, no, his voice like this. He just thought like this. I mean, and he was like, go. Did the audition and I felt great about it. And it took a long time to actually book it because
Mm.
shortly afterwards, Michael K. Williams, who was supposed to play Forrest Whitaker's role, the next like 3 or 4 days later after my audition, he died. And I didn't even know that he was the star of it, but he died. And it's like, oh, he was the star. So then it took like 4 or 5 months later to finally hear that I booked it.
Oh my goodness.
And
Woo.
pins and needles. And then it was like, oh, they had now Forrest Whitaker is playing. I'm like, Forrest Whitaker. And then I was thinking, well, I might be too young to play opposite Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah.
But God showed up and showed out, and I booked the role.
It was magical to be in the audience and experience um, really magical. I mean, beautiful story. And for me, knowing a lot of your story, I thought this is such a, for I think a coming out role for you, like really coming out. And the story is in such beautiful alignment with who you are authentically as a man and
Mm.
as an artist, because you have not, you're one of, and I've said this publicly, that you are one of two men that I know. You know, I know a lot of men. You are one of two men that I know who does and is doing the work. And
Mm.
so when people look at those who have achieved their dreams, I want them to know that it comes with faith, it comes with hard work, it comes with perseverance, it comes with pain, crying, doubt, all the things, right? Now, I know you said you would never quit. Has there ever been a moment? Has there ever been a moment though where you said, I don't know, maybe I'm gonna take a break, maybe I'm gonna take a pause, maybe I'm gonna go down a different road?
I like how you noticed the parallel of the movie in my life because I do relate to that movie in such a strong way because George Foreman came from very impoverished beginnings like I did, and he had a lot of anger like I did, even though I didn't even know I was angry. And I'm sure he didn't know he was angry either. People say, "You're angry." I'm like, "No, I'm not angry. What are you talking about?" So it was my anger that kind of drove me, just like it was his anger that just drove him to his greatness. And then he got to a place where he broke down. He ended up, like the trailer said, he died, and he in that death or whatever, or whatever moment he had that revelation or whatever, he found God. And I feel like that's what happened to me because I found myself in the hospital
Mm,
with a burst appendix because all of that trauma just kind of came crashing into me. And then I had to basically dig deeper and discover my higher power. I had to discover the Jesus, the God that I know that's personal to me, not the one that other people are putting on top of me. And
yeah.
from that standpoint, that's when things started to shift, and that's when this role came along. So I'm so happy that you kind of saw that. That lets you know that you know me.
Yes.
Um, and of course, everybody gets frustrated, even in relationships. Oh, I'm tired of this person. So I go through that. I get tired of the business. I mean, it's a hard, tough business, as you know, because you are in it. I
Mhm.
do have those moments, but it's never about quitting because I don't know what else I would do.
Mm,
Really don't. I mean, I used to coach actors and people like, "Oh, you're a great acting coach. You should be an acting coach." But I hate it when I go places and people like, "Oh, that's my acting coach." I always felt like I was the help or something. I'm like, "No, I'm not an acting coach. I'm an actor." And people were like, "What is the problem? How come you don't want to just say you're an acting coach?" I'm like, "Because that's not who I am." You know what I'm saying? And so, because I mean, I feel like this world, everybody's looking for a label. Let's label everything. But some things are just like labelless.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm label-less. I mean, I hate that I have to wear, this black man, this queer man, all of these labels that I have to wear because whenever you wear them, people project whatever their ideas of that onto me.
Mhm.
And to me, sometimes that gets irritating. I'm like, I'm just me. I'm just me.
Yes. And you know, you don't even have to, because you're Dwayne Barnes, and I know you. You're very you've evolved so much. Part of the title of this. So I was talking with my producer, and you and I had a conversation a long time ago about all of the labels, actor, writer, director. And I remember you sent me something, and quote me if I'm wrong or correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it said something about evolver, something like that. Do you remember that?
I done sent you so many things, but evolution, I'm ever evolving. So
And
that sounds, it makes sense.
yeah, and that is who you are, ever evolving. Dwayne, I have so many questions. I have so many things I want to ask you and that I want you to share. So I want to just do a little pivot. I want to do a little game that I call rapid fire. And so I'm
Okay.
going to call out a word or phrase, and you already know the answer, so you don't have to dig deep for it. Whatever's on the top of your mind, you call it out. You ready?
Okay.
Meditation.
Peace.
Okay. So I want you to go a little deeper. I'm gonna give you a little hint.
Try to control. You gonna try to control my answers?
No, that was great, but this one, it's a little more personal. It's a little more personal. So let me just see how well I do with this as well.
Okay.
Meditation CD.
Soulful meditations, mind medicine. Welcome to greatness. Sky is the limit. Sky is the limit.
So ahead of the curve. You were so ahead of the curve. Okay. Bally Total Fitness.
Free King. Free King. That's how we met, pretty much. Well,
Yeah.
we met. I saw you in a play with Roderick and Kevin, but we connected at Bally's. Yes.
And I don't
Yes.
think we really met because I was so afraid of everything, especially after that play. I don't recall meeting anyone. But for me, it was Bally Total Fitness because I would see you for what seemed like years, and I thought you were so fine and so focused, and
And
it
then
annoyed
what
me.
happened? What happened? You thought I was fine and so focused, then you found out what?
Well, I found out you weren't interested in me, and I couldn't understand that. I was just like, something's got to be wrong with him because he's giving me nothing. And look, I know he's into his little weights, so am I, but come on. And we got formally introduced to someone, and then I found out that you had a partner and that you weren't interested in me, and we became
I
really
didn't have a partner then. I didn't have a partner then. Again, somebody, those labels that was placed on me, it allowed that to block that. You get what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I guess we've been esoteric.
yes.
I'm,
Let's just
I'm
call it what.
queer. I'm queer, and the reason I call myself queer because queer means different. It
Mm,
means I'm not homosexual. I'm not heterosexual. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm just me. I'm just queer. You know what I'm trying to say?
yes.
I
I'm
like
glad you
energies. I'm attracted to energies, huh? All energies.
glad that you broke that down because someone said that in the Uber to me, and I was just like, I don't really know what queer means. Like, I don't know what they're saying. I know what, gay, homosexual, straight, I know what that means. But no one's ever, and people assume that you know what all of the
Yeah,
pronouns mean,
right.
but I didn't. So thank you for that. And I'm sure other people um, don't know. But you still weren't attracted to me because you gave me nothing. That's my point. It's okay. But I'm just saying you gave me nothing.
Well, well, I was shy too. I've always been attracted to you. I think you're a beautiful woman. Who wouldn't be attracted to you? Physically, mentally, spiritually, you're the bomb. So that's really not true. I was just at that time I was very insecure and very kind of introverted, and I'm still am kind of introverted, but you know. But you wasn't ready for that queer life anyway. So
Look, facts. But we developed such a beautiful, unsuspecting friendship. I mean, I didn't expect for us to
right.
become this close. I mean, and it doesn't even matter how it happened, but it's been, I don't know, 15, 16 years, and it's been incredible to, so for, I don't know if you know this, but Dwayne, it's because of you and our friendship that I realized that men had feelings and emotions. I didn't know. I had no
Wow.
idea. And you helped me to see men not as men and the sex as a male, but as a person. I was
Hmm.
like, oh my God, how do you get to this age and not know? But you don't know that you don't know that you don't know until you know. So thank you so much for that.
And thank you for your vulnerability in saying that, because that's so vulnerable, because it sounds crazy. But from the environments that we came from, I understand why you felt that way, because people with, they try to beat my feelings out. They try to bully my feelings out, laugh my feelings out, because it was like, oh, why are you sad? Why are you hurt? Why are you afraid? You're weak. You're this. I'm like, because all this BS is going on. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say? So I understand why you feel that way.
Yes. Thank
Yeah.
you. All right. Are you ready to continue?
Yes. Are you
Okay.
ready? Are you ready to continue to control my answers? Yes, do it.
Look, I only controlled one because I was like, no, I want him to remember it. I want him to remember it because that was my first official and formal introduction to meditation.
Oh,
Yeah, I had attempted to meditate before. Someone took me to I remember it was a theater. There was a meditation teacher, and I remember falling asleep. And I remember asking him, I was like, so is this like nap time? He was like, well, if you fall asleep, it means that you're tired. And I was
mm.
like, oh, well, should I come back? Because someone told me, if you do meditation, you'll get an acting role. You'll become a better actor and you'll become more confident. So I was all up in there. I didn't get it. And then when you made your CD and you gave it to me, I was like, oh, I've been doing this all wrong. So for me, that was my first introduction and it was very meaningful. And I'm literally 2 weeks away from getting certified in mindfulness meditation. So thank you, Dwayne Barnes.
And I do remember you being excited about that because I remember you was dating this guy and you were playing it for him, and I think he was a little irritated. Like, why are you playing this Negro stuff? And I'm trying to get with you. Right. Listen to my friend's CD. I do remember.
Oh my goodness, we have. Okay, all right. So here we go. Beads.
Chanting.
Oh, yes. Let's see. Roderick.
Cool. Wonderful. I'm sorry, one word. Yeah.
It's okay. That was good. Thank you for playing. So, Dwayne, the theme, the premise, the concept of the Fee King Show, it's all about who are you? What do you do? What's your why? How do you keep it all together? I.e., what's your self care modality? And so I want to ask you, Dwayne Barnes, who are you?
What happened?
Nothing.
Oh, all of a sudden the computer was, that's so interesting. As soon as you asked me that, the screen just went away.
Oh,
Who
wow.
am I? I am a powerful, kind, magical, mystical, deep, insightful, talented, creative, sexy motherfucker.
I would like to co sign that. Dwayne Barnes, what do you do? And go wherever you'd like with that. It can be what do you do in your professional, your personal, your spiritual life? What do you do?
What do? I uplift and inspire and encourage through my artistic talents and sensibilities and my insights and my awareness and my consciousness and my self help. That's what I do.
Okay, now. Okay, now. All right, now.
Mhm.
Let's go sign that as well.
Okay.
Dwayne Barnes, why? What is your why? Why do you do what you do? Why are you being who you are being?
Mm. Almost my eyes done watered up over here because I was just thinking about my ancestors. I was thinking about my mother and my father and my grandmothers. I do what I do so that I can up level my bloodline so
Oof.
that I could shift the consciousness that those enslavers put into us
Mm.
to heal what my mother and my fathers couldn't heal, to reveal what my mothers and fathers couldn't reveal.
That's powerful. Mm.
That's why.
That's why. Thank you so much. Whew. Dwayne Barnes, how do you keep it all together? What is your self care modality? How are you caring for Dwayne Barnes?
How I do it is I wake up every day and before I get out of the bed, I pray. I pray gratitude. I pray the serenity prayer. God, give me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And then I turn my whole day and my life over to this God who loves me deeply and would never leave me nor forsake me for anything. I turn everything over to it, and I get up and I go for a 20-minute walk, where I say my affirmations and I do my mantras and I take in the sun. I come back, I eat my breakfast, I go to the gym, and then I'm ready to win. And so that is my formula. That's my daily prescription that I do every day, and I don't deviate.
I know that's right. It sounds like you are a man who is consistent. And I believe that consistency is the key. Had you not been consistent all of these years as an actor, as a friend, as a man, as a human being, this role that you landed could not have landed you. You've been so consistent, and I can say that not because I read it somewhere, not because I heard you say it in an interview. I've experienced it. I've seen the consistency, and I'm so proud of you. What is next for Dwayne Barnes?
I'm still like polishing up Dwayne Barnes. He still needs some polishing, and still just continuing to just fulfill my life's mission and my life's purpose. I want a series, I want more movies. I want to speak around the world to uplift, young Black men who are struggling with themselves or struggling with life. I just want to be that poster man for that, so they can look up and say, I know him, and his mother was this, and his father was this, and he was this, and he overcame all of that, and look at this. So that's why I'm here.
Ooh,
And
Dwayne, from your mouth to God's ears, from your mouth to God's ears. Well, my friend, is there anything that you would want to share? I want you to take this moment to share, whatever that is.
I want to say that life isn't easy. It's extremely challenging.
Mm,
And that was something that it took a while for me to accept that, because I used to look around and feel like, why are they having it so easy? And what's wrong with me? But now I realize that everybody's going through something. And so I used to feel like when things weren't working out for me, that it was because I wasn't good enough, or I was, tainted or whatever. My life was tainted. But I'm like, no, that's a sign of your greatness.
yes.
Because when things keep coming at you, it's like it's trying to stop you. So now I look at the obstacles and challenges as a celebration, and I accept that all things are working together for my good. And so that's what I want to implant into the minds and hearts of everyone who watches this interview. It's like all things are working together for your good if you look at it that way. You know what I'm saying? If you look at, like, where is God in this? Where's the blessing in this? Where's the lesson in this? And when I tell you, if you seek it, you will always find it.
I believe that, and I so needed to hear that again today. One of the things that I say to myself and out loud is that young people deserve to hear the truth, which is life is not going to be easy. The road to happiness and health and success, it's not easy. And I don't know where we got the idea that it was going to be easy. It is not easy for anyone. And so when people watch this show, aside from myself, they're going to get so much value from that, because I can see your heart and you mean what you say, because you live what you say. Like, you're a living testimony of it. And I pray that this movie does well, like beyond your comprehension of what it can do for all involved, for the producers, the writers, the directors, the other actors. That is what I hope will happen. I'm going to do my part. I plan to go and see the movie again with Sekou. I pray that you get everything that you need and you want in this lifetime, because you so deserve and you've earned it. And I'm so proud to know you, Dwayne. I'm so proud to be your friend. And I'm so grateful that you said yes. to the Fee King Show.
Always and forever. And I'm so proud of you. And I'm excited. And let's keep winning, my friend. Let's keep winning.
All we do is win, 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 no matter what.
Uh,
Can I sing?
uh,
Oh, Dwayne Barnes, I bid you love, light, peace, prosperity, abundance, possibility, positivity. Not just for today, not just for the weekend, not just for the week or the month or 2023, but for your entire life. And I love you.
and I accept it. Wow.
Thank you.